Can we explore this further?
Please.
Because I feel this
Please.
is very challenging. I think you've underplayed it because you're an understudy for Hades. And that's played by Patrick Page, who's iconic for this role. I mean, he plays it so well. And when you are going to play Hades on stage, it must be very difficult to not try and do what he does so well. And even to just make the decision to personally make a different choice or portray the character in a certain different way, there will be so much pressure riding on it because Patrick Pace does it in a certain way and that's been so popular. He does it so well. And then if you make a certain choice, that could be regarded as why would you even make that choice? Is that a challenge? Is that difficult you face?
Oh yeah. I mean, Patrick he's brilliant. I mean, he's absolutely brilliant, but he's also alien in a way because nobody can do what he does. I mean, no, like the way his voice, he manipulates his voice and the way, I mean, truly nobody can do what he does. And so that was the trap that I was starting to fall into, which I tend to do at the beginning of any creative process in this respect, where I'm like replacing someone or understudying someone. I'm like, okay, let me just try and get the blueprints of all of this, of the role, right? Like learning the lines, learning the music, learning the blocking. And so I found myself falling into the trap of trying to replicate what Patrick does, which he's also 30 years older than I am, right? Like we walk differently, our bodies are different, like we carry ourselves in a different way. And so I was starting to do that. And at some point in that process, I was like, I need to find a way to make this my own. I'm never going to be able to replicate what he does. And our associate director really helped me find my version of Hades, who is a little more playful, is not as, like Patrick is terrifying. He is terrifying. On stage, I am terrified of him. Like his gaze, his stature, and
that voice.
The voice. I mean, it's scary. And I don't know. I think when I was able to put more of myself into Hades, right? Like my version of darkness, because we all have darkness inside of us. And so actually with the help of my therapist too, I was able to really be like, okay, well, how can I channel the darkness that is inside me, that's inside all of us, but like my particular darkness, how can I use that into my Hades? And I've kind of found that my darkness has more of a sense of humor. And so with the help of my therapist, the associate director, the other actors on stage, I was really able to find my own version of that. But it took time. Like I started learning the role of Hades months ago, and I just went on this past week, and I feel like I just started to like find my version of this character. And I know it's going to evolve because I've only done it a handful of times. And when you don't do something every day, you know, it ebbs and flows in a way that's not, well, very much not linear, but not in a way that like it would be if you were doing the show every night. And so it's both a challenge and so freeing to be able to do your own thing with something that people have a preconceived notion of. Because if you try and replicate it, you're never gonna be able to do what he does. And so it's going to just be like this like subpar version of that. And whereas I could do an above par version of what I do best.